Yes, yes. Just waiting for people to come on. So yes, I'm doing readings. So let's just wait for people to jump on. Just wait for people to jump on. Well, people should be jumping in a few minutes. Yeah, but I'm doing really good, everyone. I'm going back to streaming. So yeah, just wait for my regulars to come in. Pretty excited to do this. So hey, Vicky, what's up? Thanks. So how are you? How are you doing? I didn't even notice you changed your profile picture. Yes. You just finished my live? Well, honestly, that's amazing. I mean, that's amazing. Yeah, it was great timing. Yeah. Yeah, you said you were getting off early today, so I thought I'd reach out to you. I was going to try to stream in here, see if we could actually knock out a few readings. So I'm just waiting for people to jump on. But other than that, you're doing okay? Yes. But I'm not going to do cards. I'm going to do it with my intuition. Yes. Yes, I'm glad that you're doing well. Yeah. So I see there's a couple of people who wants a small twin flame reading. You wrote two new books. Yes, you're telling me that the other day. You were. You really were. I'm just glad that you're doing so well for yourself. Oh, you're sending me another copy of a new book that you wrote? Yes. So yes, I'm just waiting for people like saying anyway, I'm just waiting for regulars to come on. I'm gonna be looking into twin flame connections today. Also, I mean, if you want to jump the line, um, yes, I could. Do you want to? Yes. Hey, everybody. Hey. So hey, what's up, guys? Hi. Okay, so since we got a little bit of people, who wants? I'm gonna be going as I'm drawing. So, um, I'm gonna actually start first with Vicky. I'm gonna start first with Vicky as she was first, and first come, first serve. So as soon as I'm finished with her, I will be coming back to you guys, and I'll be telling you. I mean, I'll be going as drawing. So let's go for you, Vicky, a twin flame reading. So I feel like right now you're in a very good place, Vicky. You're in a state of inner union right now. And I feel as though you're not really focused on your twin flame at the moment. You're more focused on building your empire. And I feel as though as you focus on building your empire, you are no longer trying to control the trajectory of your own journey. You are no longer trying to force things to occur for you as you would like them to occur. You're in full surrender. You're in full flow state. You are going along with the wind. You are again, you command the power in surrendering that you haven't had before. And this is really good energy because you've done a lot of work in order to get to this place. I see that you're healing the masculine woman template revenants, and this is really pushing you into your divine feminine energy fully. So you are in the middle of constructing a union template. And as you construct this union template, you start to actually think of what love means to you on a deeper level. Yes, you want that love. You want that love where someone worships you. You want where someone adores you. and you've been asking the divine, well, where exactly is that person? So I feel as though, Vicky, that your person is much closer than you think. And I do see again that the reason why things were delayed the way they were is because you can rise into your power. The divine is saying that you were an overgiver in many in your relationships. You fought hard to be seen, but this is what the divine is having you really fix at the moment. Because as soon as you show up for yourself fully, as soon as you step into your purpose, like even more, you are going to be in such high vibrational energy that you will magnetize the person that you want. And I feel as though, again, that is all doors are opening right now. Doors are opening right now. And because they're opening right now, a lot of self-limiting beliefs that you didn't even know you had are coming. It's like your thoughts are like saying, well, is am I deserving of this? Is this what I like really, really want? And I feel as though this is what the divine wants you to recognize, that you are inherently worthy, Vicky. And what you're really being called to focus on, Vicky, is your self-limiting beliefs that are still there. The more you work through those self-limiting beliefs, the more you'll be confident in the knowing that whatever is meant for you won't pass you by. And last but not least, I am seeing that you are going to be experiencing an even more abundance and prosperity come your way. Again, I would say by this time next year, you will be making almost triple the income that you already have. Hey everybody. So yes, that's what I get for you, Vicky. So guys, if you want a reading, let me actually just say how it's going to work this time. So you can drop hearts, and I'm gonna go with who I'm drawing at too. I'll tell you when. But okay, if you want to jump the line, I have my PayPal, Venmo, and um and Cash App attached to the live. So if you want to pay, of course, that will just bump the live. But if you want to actually get a reading, like a free one, then drop the hearts, and I'm gonna go who I'm drawing. So, so yes, I hope they resonated with it. So now you guys can drop the hearts. I will go with who I'm drawing. So okay, Anya is coming. Anya Wilson, I was immediately drawn to you. So, okay, this is what's happening for you, Anya. I feel as though right now, what you're really being called to focus on, is the self-limiting beliefs that are coming up right now. I feel as though you have been very confused. It's like you were like thinking, well, I've already past this. Yes and no. I feel as though that you're kind of like missing the whole point. Like you're kind of like acting from a state of reactiveness on Anya, instead of just like allowing the ego to be silenced. So what the spirit's advice for you is to really again remember that you are healed, but what's coming up is not related to what you've healed before. So you are going deeper right now, and it feels as though like you're in a state of flight or flight. But what they want you to know, Anya, is that's not necessarily the case. So you are going to healing your nervous system over the next couple weeks, and it feels that this nervous system healing is really going to bring you out of that that way of that survival mode. It's going to bring you out of survival mode, and I feel as though you're going to be dropped into your heart space. You may be feeling heart chakra palpitations, or you may be feeling like a break in the heart. Is your heart expanding right now? Your heart is expanding so that you can be more in your heart space. Because right now, Anya, you go between the head space when you're triggered. You go deeper into the headspace, but you're still learning how to be in a heart space. You can be in a heart space, yes. It's just when you're triggered, you go back into the headspace. And so what you want, the divine wants you to know, is that you need to be gentle with yourself when this happens. I feel as though you demand a lot of yourself, and that's due to your mother and father wound. And so what the divine is telling you to do, Anya, is to really be kinder and gentler to yourself. You're so gentle with your twin, you're so gentle with everyone else, But when it comes to you, sometimes you give yourself the short end of the stick. And that's what needs to change. You are worthy of that same consideration and love that you so readily give others. And I feel as though you're still learning how to do that, but it's like you feel guilt and shame whenever you feel this, Anya. And this is what the divine wants you to bear in mind. Someone made you feel like your love was too much. Someone made you feel as though you were second. And that's what needs to be deprogrammed. This is what needs to be deprogrammed because that's not true at all. So Anya, you're what the divine recommends is that you actually sit with this. Really just let it flow through you, and you're going to have a breakthrough in 2 days' time. And it's going to actually coincide with the 1212 portal. The 1212 portal is going to be very eventful for you. You're going to have a breakthrough in your twin flame connection. And it feels as though he is going to be stepping up in a way that he hasn't before. So yeah, that's what I get. So let's start with the hearts again. So again, let's go put on John 2. So yeah. Okay. I thought there were more people. Hang on, I'm just waiting for people to. There's 9 people, but there's 3 that commented. Hang on. Okay, so I'm gonna go with Yashawani. Okay, Yashawani, a twin flame reading for you. So, Yashawani, what you are being really called to remember right now is that Mercury retrograde was very eye opening for you. And because Mercury retrograde was very eye opening for you, it would brought up a lot of triggers that you initially thought you dealt with. So, this is the divine's advice to you, Yashawani. Yes, you did heal that, but you need to give yourself some grace because when you were healing, you can only heal at the state of a consciousness you're aware. And because you expanded in consciousness, Yashawani, you're starting to see things that you didn't see before. And I feel as though you are like you are struggling to not be so perfectionistic, but this is what the divine wants you to really bear in mind, that you're doing the best you can with what you know. And I feel as though you grew up like with like very self-critical in yourself. And I feel as though, Yashawani, your advice is to really be give yourself that love and care that you so readily give others, because you are doing the best you can. And I feel as though they really want you to hear this, because I feel as though you're like thinking, I should have done better, I should have seen this coming. No, no, you're exactly where you're supposed to be right now. And it may not feel like it, but what your nervous system is equating, um like, I feel as though you're somewhat of an overachiever, and I feel as though like if you don't overachieve, then it feels uncomfortable when you underperform. And I feel as though, Yashawani, this is what they want you to break, because you are doing the best you can. I feel as though like you demand a lot of yourself, and I feel as though this is what the divine is saying. Like, give yourself that break, child. Give yourself that break. You are, I mean, you are allowed to feel human. You are allowed to be the version of yourself that doesn't have it all figured out. And I feel as though you're still learning how to operate in your authentic self. It may feel a little bit tricky at times, Yashawani, but I feel as though you have it that have it more figured out than you think. I feel as though what you really could feel confused about is, I guess, your twin flame situation. You see a lot of movement happening, but you don't see them anywhere in sight. So I feel as though it's making you like overthink the whole situation. And Yashawani, what the divine is saying is what you're feeling is actually the truth. And right now, the internal reality is changing right now. And the internal reality needs time to change before it can rip out into the 3D. Remember, absence of evidence is an evidence of absence. It simply means that everything is unfolding in the perfect divine timing. And so I feel as though you are going to be getting a breakthrough in your situation around the 1212 portal too. So these next 3 days are going to be about letting go of what no longer serves you. And the more you let go of what no longer serves you, your faith is going to skyrocket. Your love for your twin will seemingly deepen even more. And I feel as though you'll be more in surrender. So yeah, that's what I get for you. So yes, now we're gonna do the hearts again. We're gonna do the hearts again. So if you're coming on here, if you want to, if you, I'm going as I'm John, but if you want to make a donation, my payment information is in the description box, and if you actually send it, um, I will read for you, so to say. Yeah, the kiss. Okay, I'm gonna go for with Val. I'm gonna go with Val this time. Okay, so a twin flame reading for you. So, okay, so Val, I feel as though right now you are having a lot of triggers come up, and I think it has to do with Mercury retrograde. However, you are not really perturbed by this. You're more curious as to where these triggers come from because you thought you had this journey narrowed down, so to say. You were soaring really magnificently, and then you just got thrown a curveball, and you're like saying, "What the hell?" And so what's happening at the moment is that you are going through another transformation right now. And because you're going through a transformation, everything that you held as true is going to be called into question. And that's because you are shedding your old identity. Yes, you're going through another shedding of the self. And this is because you are letting go of the version of yourself that sacrificed herself in order to be there for everyone else. Like, you're the person who is there for everyone else. You're the person that people go to when they want their problems situated. Again, you're like, you have an energy about you, Val, that's very comforting. You tell it like it is, and you're also very trustworthy. And so people tend to open up to you about their deepest, darkest secrets at times. And you're like saying, wow, this is overwhelming because you have such an um and honest integrity. This is why people are drawn to you. So I feel as though right now, when it comes to your twin flame, he is going through some serious ego death right now. I feel as though you feel this and you sense it. However, you feel as though he's putting up a mask right now. And I feel as though he's putting up a mask momentarily because he is not knowing what's going on. He's not trying to push his feelings away. It's just he's very scared and he feels like he has to put on an appearance to make it seem like he's okay. But he is working through his stuff. He is processing his things. But he wants to act as though he has it all together because that's his trauma response of like dealing with stuff. However, I do feel like he will be opening up to you unexpectedly sometime before Christmas, and I feel as though he's going to be letting you in about exactly how he's been feeling. I also see that he is going to be taking more of a stand against his parents. Like, I don't think that he's going to be going with their every whim as much. I feel as though he is working on his self-limiting beliefs about himself, and he's starting to see some things, Val. He's starting to see some things about the situation with his family. He's starting to see that for the sake of you and your son, he must be someone that's very firm and within himself. So he is starting to stop people pleasing. He is no longer trying to be that doormat or the punching bag or the butt of everybody's jokes. He is realizing that he doesn't want to be likable. He doesn't want to be acceptable. He wants to be himself. So I feel as though he is going through another dark night in his soul, and this is going to last for the next 3 months. I see him going through another awakening in January, and the signs that I feel as though you're going to sense that too in January. And I feel as though he's going to be going through another awakening about what it means to be um his what it means to be his true and authentic self. Like he's still figuring this out, just like you're figuring this out. In a year's time, he will be a completely different person. He will be more in his power. He'll be more in his masculine energy. And I do see he'll be a lot more consistent, and he'll be a lot more um aligned with his words and heart. So yeah, that's what I get for you, Val. Okay, so the hearts again. Oh, did you send a donation? Thanks. Hang on, just a second. Okay, okay, Courtney, I got you. I got you. So, Courtney's gonna go first. Then I'm gonna do the hearts again. Okay. Okay, twin flame radium for Courtney. So here's what I get for you, Courtney. I feel as though like the past few days have been somewhat surprising for you because you are undergoing yet another transformation, and this is calling to question the way you perceive your not just your business but also the way you relate to the world right now. And I feel as though what you're really starting to realize is that there are aspects of yourself where you're denying. There's still aspects of yourself that you're rejecting, but not because you are trying to um you're not trying to like play a part. I feel as though you're kind of rejecting it because I think that in a way that it caused you to really like I guess you can say things that I wouldn't say you didn't want to look at them, but it's more that you just did not know that you were rejecting things. That's more of the thing. And I feel as though this is somewhat a surprise for you, Courtney, because you thought that, well, I didn't know that I still had some limiting beliefs, but I don't think that you're like triggered by it. You're calmly working through this right now, and you're starting to actually see why your twin was acting the way he was, like in some aspects, and you're like saying, "Oh, that makes sense." So it's like you're calmly working through things like a checklist. So what you're really being called to really work on right now is the remnants of self-sabotaging energy, because a lot of self-sabotaging cycles came up for you right now, and I feel as though like at first like it was a hard pill to swallow, but I don't think that your ego got in the way. It was just like a lot for you to take in, but you have gone through that processing time, Courtney, and you're starting to actually understand what I mean, how he's marrying you in that respect. Because for a while, you're like saying, "Well, something's not shifting, something's not right here," and you were like banging your head against the wall, trying to figure out exactly what it is. And I feel as though because you were so focused on that, you couldn't exactly see it because you were putting too much emphasis on the problem. But when you pulled back, it snapped into place. And so, yeah, you have a desire to do the work, but sometimes the divine is telling you that when you don't know how the pieces fall together, don't force it. Just pull back. Sometimes the divine has to show you, if you're like focused on trying to see things, you're not going to see things in the way you're meant to. So this is the divine's advice to you, Courtney, is to simply be still. And I feel as though you're always busy, and it's a trauma response to you to keep yourself busy. I'm not saying to throw everything to the side, but to really spend a little bit more time being still to really heal the nervous system, because your nervous system is still being reprogrammed right now to allow that love for your twin to heal you and to uplift you. And I feel as though one of the things that you're really working on is emotional safety right now. You're really working on feeling secure and balance within yourself. Um, and I feel as though you were like thinking, well, like some part of you was like unconsciously looking for your twin to give that to you, but you're starting to like again realize that he can't give me anything if I don't give it to myself first. So again, you're kind of redirecting it to yourself. So even though you feel that longing for your twin, you are no longer looking for him to fulfill a void in you. You are pouring into yourself. And even though you feel like right now the distance between you is like not what you want, I feel as though you're done trying to push this situation forward. You're accepting that you're exactly where you're supposed to be. You're accepting that it is occurring in your favor, and you are kind of letting go control. And this is really pushing you really into your feminine energy a lot more. I do see you're going to be working on your wounding around the wound of separation over the next 3 months. And it feels as though you're going to be going really deep down the rabbit hole. You're going to be encountering a lot of relationship trauma that you didn't even know you had. Expect yourself to be thinking about people you haven't thought of in a very long time. And it's going to really lead to deeper healing. And I see you guys getting closer. I see you guys coming together even more. And I feel as though, again, you're going to start building that union template in around April. But I feel as though you're going to start hitting inner union in late March, early April. So, yeah, yes. Yeah, I can really understand that. I can really understand that. Yes, I know. Yeah. So, yeah, that's what I get for you. Right. Right. Hey, Vicky. Vicky, are you still here? I added you as a mod. Since I trust you. Okay, okay, so that would be it for Courtney, by the way. I didn't know if I said that, but okay, so okay, let's go with the next people. Let me see. I should be doing this until 8. Um okay, drop a heart if you want a reading. If you want to jump in line again, you can just payment information is in my description box. Think in your favor, Courtney. Mm. Okay, is there anybody else? So I mean, I thought there's 6 people here, so all right. I'm gonna be going with Ray Ray. All right. Oh, all right. I'm gonna be going with Ray Ray. So Ray Ray, this is what I get for you. So this okay. So what I feel is that you are undergoing an intense transformation right now. And this is actually bringing up some wounding that you thought that you already actually dealt with. And it feels as though it's very surprising for you. 'Cause like, say, hang on, I thought I was more healed than that. So you are more healed than that. It's just that you are going deeper right now. And I feel as though you are being called to continue to work on an inner child. However, I feel as though the divine is really causing you to really look at your subconscious mind at the moment, because there is still some limited beliefs in your psyche that prevents you from showing up in the way that you deserve, because you still have some tendencies of self-sabotage. And this is what the divine wants you to work on right now, to really focus on showing up for yourself first. I feel as though that you have been feeling shifts in your twin flame connection, and you've been looking outward like saying, well, I feel this, but why is nothing shifting? So what the divine is telling me is that things are shifting internally, and you must trust in that. It has to change internally before it ripples out externally. So they're telling you to really focus on the bigger picture right now, and to really focus on the unlearning of like self sabotage. Because as you unlearn this self sabotaging, you're going to be more in your heart space. So you are going to continue to work on your heart space for the next 3 months. And I feel as though you are no longer going to be oscillating between the head and the heart like you did. Like, you're moving out of fear based energy. You're becoming more anchored in love based energy. And as you become more anchored in love based energy, this is really helping you to really stay in the story that you want to unfold. So I feel as though your blockage with your twin flame, it's not really a blockage, it's more of a state of embodiment. I feel as though you do want union, you do want to be with them. I feel as though it's more like trusting that is already working for you. And I feel as though, like, you feel like, again, you guys are meant for each other. But what you're really focused on right now, Ray, you're really focused on, like, trying to surrender at the moment. And the more you surrender, the more you're going to become anchored in the fact that union is yours. So you're really working on letting go of control right now. And the more you let go of control, the more you'll be in your heart space. Um, the more you'll be in your heart space. So what the divine is telling you right now is that don't wait for things to shift. Shift first, and they will shift with you, because your twin flame is waiting on you to make a shift right now, because they're trusting that you're going to do that. They believe in you, even if there's silence between you. Your person is your biggest fan, and I feel as though they are going to be showing up in the 5D with you over the next couple weeks to very, very much let you know that this connection is still active, that they have not forgotten about you. Because I feel as though, like, one moment you're like, well, I know if they love me. And then the next, you get triggered and you're like saying, well, X, Y, and Z doesn't happen. And you're like, so maybe I'm just overthinking it. So, what you're really being called to do is to really work through that thinking, to really persist in the story that you want to be. And this is why they told you to work on subconscious programming around self sabotage. Because, again, like, you want, like I said, you want that, but it's just like you overthink, and I feel as though that has to do with self sabotage. So the more you work on this, Ray, the more you'll be more anchored in the story that you want to unfold. And it's, again, you wouldn't have that desire if it wasn't meant to unfold for you. You That's what I get for you. So yeah, Brittany has always been on point with me in timing. Yeah, yeah, thanks. Thanks. Okay, so I'm gonna do the hearts again. Yeah. Okay, so I got 15 more minutes. So, okay, Linda, are you still there? Yes, I felt drawn to you. Yes. Okay, so let me go. Okay, so for the sake of anonymity, okay. Okay, so I feel as though right now you are really focused on surrendering at the moment. So you're really focused on surrendering the how and the when, because it wasn't that long ago that you were triggered. You were triggered because, again, it seemed like, again, things are going well with your twin, and all of a sudden he has his karmic in the mix again. And you're like saying, what the heck? So instead of like getting upset about it and saying, well, I'm just a pull back pack my energy and not have nothing to do with it, you're like saying, hang on a minute. You're saying, what part of me actually thinks that I'm not enough? So instead of like giving to your ego like you did in the past, you are calling BS on your own thinking at the moment. And you're calling BS on your thinking, you're like saying, he does love me. And he's just showing me where I'm not trusting love right now. And so you are, again, like, putting the brakes on, and you're really keeping in a story that you want to unfold at the moment. And you are no longer focused on whether he is leaving or not. It's more like you are focused on really staying in that state of unconditional love. So you've been doing a lot of work around the wound of separation, and this has actually led you to do a lot of healing on relationship trauma. So you are going to be doing a lot of healing on relationship trauma for the next 3 months. And because you're doing the healing on a relationship trauma, this is going to really make you look at your how you approach the situation with your twin flame. And I feel as though you're going to start to see some distortions that you didn't even know you're there. And I feel as though this is, you and you guys are going to continue to get closer. I feel as though you're going to continue to that he's going to continue to be more and more consistent. Like I said, it's just again, it's just like he is seeing what he needs to do. And I don't think he has any intention of staying in the situation. Like I said, he is really focused on, again, being his true and authentic self. And so, like I said, I don't think that he is going to stay with her. He is not. He's not. What he's really focused on is letting go of the fears and insecurities around choosing himself. Like I said, I see him choosing himself. I see him divorcing her. I see him choosing you. He has already chosen you, actually. It's just that he needs to move his life around in order to do that. And I feel like he's already beginning to do that. So again, I don't think that it's going to um go on for much longer. I know, like again, you're like saying a win-win. So Linda, what you're really being focused on is to being called to really focused on what was actually deterring you and him from like coming together sooner was that when things went in your favor didn't go in your favor, you spiraled. But you're breaking that cycle now. And because you're bouncing back, you are being advised to really work on your self concept, Linda, to really work on the remnants of the fear of not being enough and the fear of not being chosen. That's why he's in that situation. Those remnants are what's keeping it together. So you are being advised to really work on that because it's tied to your relationship trauma. The more you work through that, the more, again, I see his situation breaking down completely. And like, again, I don't see it. It's not barely anything's like keeping it afloat. You're very, very close. Really trust in the process right now because again he is showing you where you weren't trusting everything. And yeah, he, like I said, the choice has already been made. It's all about the 3D coming into alignment. So what you're really being focused on is to really heal those remnants, and then your love will deepen. You will be more in your heart space. You will be more in the feminine energy. Yes. Yes, so that's what I get for you. Okay, so are there any okay, any hearts? So I'm gonna be doing one more person. So yes, I know you've been a regular for mine for a couple years already. All right, Wendy, I'll do you. You're the last one. Okay, so Wendy, okay, this is the twin flame reading for you. So I feel as though you've been having a lot of triggers come up too. And you're like saying, hang on, I was already past that. Because you've done a lot of deep healing around your mother wound. And then you had something you thought was related to the mother wound come up. But it's not really the mother wound that's actually being triggered. It's ancestral trauma. So you are being advised to really work on your ancestral trauma right now, to really go deep into your family line and actually reclaim your true self from the bondages of codependency and duty and obligation, because this is what's keeping you from really being in your divine feminine energy. And I'm seeing that you are going to be clearing a lot of money blocks over the next couple of months. And this is because of the deep healing you're going to be doing on your ancestral line. Because your issues have nothing to do with they have nothing to do with your twin. It has more to do with the family you were incarnated in. You grew up with a poverty consciousness, and I feel as though this is what the divine is really calling you to break right now. Because that breakthrough you want is coming. That breakthrough you want is on its way. However, you're repelling it at the moment because you're fluctuating between two stories. Even though you want that abundance and prosperity, subconsciously you feel unworthy of it, Wendy, and that is what it is tied to your family line. So you are being called to really work on your money blocks, to really reprogram your subconscious mind, because that, as you end up reprogramming your subconscious mind, this is going to really help you in letting go of what is not yours. And you're going to experience a lot of limited beliefs coming up. And the more you let go of these limited beliefs, the more you're going to actually see where you were holding yourself back. And also, your heart space is expanding, so you're going to be revisiting some relationship trauma. So this could be like maybe watching your parents' relationship, it could be even previous relationships, or it could be what you watched on TV. But something about love is going to change. You are no longer going to be seeing love as painful. You're no longer going to be seeing love as hard. It's more like you're going to be challenging those limited beliefs, Wendy. And the more you challenge those limited beliefs, the more you're going to rewire yourself to be okay with the new normal. I also see you doing some deep subconscious programming on the nervous system over the next 3 months. Because this is you actually saying sayonara to the old timeline and really jumping into the timeline you want to be on. And as you jump into that timeline, you are going to be experiencing those changes that you want. Again, December the second half of this December is going to be much kinder to you than the first half. You are going to experience a very smooth couple of months when it comes to the healing, and this is because you've actually done the majority of the healing that is necessary for you to really advance on your journey. But but your twin is going to be catching up to you. He is going to be actually going through a hard couple of months, and that's because he's going to be clearing a lot of karma. So you are going to experience a very smooth couple of months, but in March it will get a little bit tough again, and that's because you're going to actually do a lot of deep healing around the dark feminine and the dark masculine, and around your witch wound. So yeah, that's what I get for you. Anyway, I think that's it for everyone. Thank you much for tuning in. I'll see you another time. Namaste.